Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are continuing our Sonic journey, and we are looking at the Jakks Pacific ROUGE, the Bat figure. Maybe one of the least articulated ones, but it looks kind of good, I guess. So, I don't know. If you guys are into this line, I don't think you're worried all that much about the articulation and the finer details, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. You're going to have all the information you need to decide if you want to jump in on this lower end line. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. And this figure stands to the top of the head, just about 9.25 centimeters, and that's going to make it roughly, let's say, 3 5/8 inches tall. And let's see how it scales with Sonic. Alright, she is gonna come up to just under his height. Not by a whole lot, but just a little bit if you look at the top of their actual heads. So I think that's probably well enough scaled. This line pretty much is, other than Eggman, so that's pretty good. Now, we could talk about the aesthetic, but first we have to do a question of the day. Super simple question for all you Sonic fans out there. Which Sonic character is your favorite? For me, it's gotta be Shadow. Shadow's the best. Okay, let's talk about the aesthetic now. I have some bad news for all of you guys. I know some of the Sonic fan base out there might have some feelings about this. The original imaging for this figure showed a certain design for her chesticles, where it just goes from pink to flesh tone, and on the final release, there's a whole lot of white paint on there, so I know that's a big letdown for a lot of you guys. Just wanted to get that out there right out of the gate so that you guys could be let down easier rather than a little bit harder. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there, just be aware of that. Otherwise though, the figure is pretty well done. You do have the pink paintwork on the boots. It's pretty clean. It's not perfect, but for a $10 figure it's fine. The line work around here is good enough, other than the white paint spilling up onto the flesh tone on there. It's not great, but it is what it is. It's not too bad. For her face, it's not bad. I don't know, are we supposed to have a difference between her eyes and her skin, or fur, whatever you want to call it? It doesn't really look like it on the original imaging, and I don't think they ever really draw it that way because she is white, so I guess that's okay. It is a bit of an off-white, so maybe the eyes could be a little bit whiter and it would look better, but the detail work is pretty clean, so I can't really fault it too much. I think it looks okay. The ears are fairly well done. It's about on par with the rest of them. It looks fine. I'll give it an aesthetic rating of 7 out of 10, just because of the inaccuracy from the original post, the original photos. Also, I want to point out, I guess, mine has some weird discoloration in this region, so that's a little bit off-putting. So hopefully that's not a uniform issue. I don't even know if it's going to show up on camera, but it looks kind of strange. Now, as far as accessories go, all she has is this weird Pokeball thing. I don't know anything about this character other than she was in Sonic 2 and other things. She was in like Sonic X. I know she was in that cartoon. I never really watched it. I don't know anything about the character. So she has a Pokeball, which is definitely not a Pokeball, but also could be. So that's it. Accessory-wise, 5 out of 10. Now, as far as articulation goes, we'll start with the wings, because I wasn't expecting them to be articulated. They do have a little bit of a hinge going on, so you can fold them back if you want, or fold them out, which is pretty cool. The head articulation is just some rotation. Nothing crazy there. Shoulders have a swivel hinge, so you can raise the arm if you want to, or you can rotate it. It's very basic, nothing much going on there. The elbow is just that hinge that's inside the upper part. There's nothing going on at the lower part other than a swivel, so you can bend it a little bit and rotate the glove, which doesn't serve a purpose because the wrist already can rotate, so you know, that's pretty limited. And then the wrists have rotation, so very, very limited in fact, so that's not great. And then the hips, same joints as Sonic, although you have the double hinge right there, so you have the knee and the hip, and because of her weird proportioning, you're going to have very limited range for most things. Like, that's her bringing her leg forward and bending the knee. Kinda not good. Not that they could have done much with it because that's her character design, but you do get rotation out of both joints. I don't know what good that's going to do you, but you do have that. And then you get a swivel at the ankle. Yeah, like I said, this one's easily one of the worst. By far, probably the worst, actually, of the articulated figures. So she's mostly just going to stand there and not do much. I think she's known for kicking. Is that a thing? I want to say that's a thing. I don't know why I remember that. Also, she has big feet, so maybe. So you could get her into some kicking poses, but I wouldn't count on too much. So I'll say the articulation on this figure gets a 5 out of 10. It's actually probably worse than Eggman. Not by far, though, I guess, because he was pretty bad. So yeah, not the best figure, but it does have some certain shelf appeal. It's all new sculpt, of course, and they did a decent enough job painting it. So if you're into the line, I don't think you're going to care too much. But now you know, if you do care, you can make that decision. So I'll give this figure a final verdict of 6 out of 10. It's not great, but I could go 7. I'll go 7. That's fair enough. I'll go 7. Looks pretty good for the price point. So yeah, it's not the best example of this line, but it'll fill that spot of having Rouge the Bat in your collection if you wanted that. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. That's not hyperbole. I actually have thousands, like 4,000 and some videos on the channel. So come back for all of that good stuff. In the meantime, keep collecting.